Okay, so I'm really bad at videos, but I'm going to try to make this specific as possible. My name is, I want to give out the perpetrator's name, but I cannot legally do that. I can legally tell you my name is Deborah Niemeyer. I have a stepbrother that I accused of hacking to my iCloud after I accused him of something that involved a younger person in 2018. He never denied it. He was never specific about it. He said I couldn't investigate my way out of a wet paper bag. This guy's got a really bad reputation. He's got convictions all over the board. My name is Deborah Niemeyer. His name is Steven. He's a stepbrother. Look me up because he put me all over YouTube. I'm a realtor in New York City, but what I want to talk about in this video, and I've done this so many times, and I've done it with too much emotion because I really feel horrible what happened to my mother. I'm a 50-year-old woman. My mother was 80, but by the time she died, I don't think the hospital staff cared about her being a Turkish woman, a Turkish-American woman living here 50 years, particularly in the southern United States. But I believe the perpetrator, there was something that caused her death that was purposeful. She was murdered. And I believe it was a relative of mine that I grew up with. And her name is Laura. Okay. I believe that my mother raised my older sister, who was very abusive. Her MO was theft, stealing assets, not a mortgage, but a title of a home. This woman has been a nightmare for her mother since she was having sex at 12, getting abortions at 14 that my mom had to pay for, having kids at 16, and most of her 6 kids out of 2 marriages my mother would raise, and along with the paternal grandparents from the first marriage. My mother was a child abuser. What else is new in our American Western society? This is nothing new. But I love my mother, but I think my mother did really raise a daughter, not even an attractive, educated, never went to high school, not an attractive human being inside and out, but crafty enough to take her life. And I think it was through poisoning of some kind, through prescriptions, something. I've been looking at phenobarbital. I almost think that she did this in a slow process as a way of testing, because some sociopaths do it very sparingly because they're too afraid to get caught. A lot of sociopaths are like that. But I also want to say that this had to do with stress, and sociopaths act like sociopaths because of trauma, stress, okay? My sister Laura, by the time our father, her father, was dying of cancer in late 2017. Apparently, he was diagnosed stage 4 cancer, esophageal cancer. He did smoke a lot. I don't know if there was a lot of metastasis, but pathology at the VA in Florida told me that there wasn't a lot of metastasis, but he still died about a year and a half after he was diagnosed. I believe he may have been over-medicated with morphine by my sister and or the step-sibling that I barely knew and I accused of something to do with a young person at a pool in 2018. He would hack into my iCloud, look up Deborah Niemeyer on YouTube. Okay, and I'm sorry about this. I know it's embarrassing, but I did not put those videos. They were on my iPhone, on my iCloud. Unbeknownst to me, they were on my iCloud. It's embarrassing, but what am I here to talk about? This is more about the murder of my mother, as I believe. And I'm giving this to Columbia County, Georgia, to finally pay attention to this, but I don't think they will because this is an 80-year-old woman. The coroner was garbage. I thought coroners had a pathology, medical background, histopathology, pathologist, whatever. This guy was from the sheriff's office. What are we going to call it? A heart attack at 4 something? That's how my mother was designated by the coroner at Doctors Hospital in Columbia County. in Martinez, Georgia. February 20th, 2019. 1 month later, by the way, March 22nd, 2019, Paul Niemeyer would be dead. He did, as my sister told me, have stage 4 cancer, esophageal cancer. And I want to say this before I forget. He couldn't talk for weeks. He was like comatose, almost comatose, could not speak, could not move, could not walk. And Laura would tell me in a 2021 email, after accusing me of so much shit that like she's just making up or embellishing something over a neighbor, would tell me that Paul Niemeyer would pull her close to his ear on the last day of his life and tell her to stay away from me. I have the emails. I've read, I have a YouTube email. Sorry, I have a YouTube video where I read that email. I might have to do that again. That is scheduled, but it's an actual email. And I'll leave it at that. But my concern is, I think that my mother was murdered, primarily by my sister, but I think she had other people to maybe be a part of it, because I don't think she could actively kill our mother through poisoning. I think she had to have an inoculator, and it's either one of her sons, maybe her older son, and his girlfriend. His girlfriend was around the weekdays that I was there, the last week of my mom's life, after I just flew in to Augusta, Georgia from New York City. I'll speak more of this because I don't want to get this more than 10 minutes, but I don't want to make this too long, more than 10 minutes. But I think she may have had other perpetrators involved, and she may have inspired them to help this woman, our mother, being that she's older, she's in her 80s, entering her 80s, and she's having a hard time living. She's slowing down. My mom was not like in her bed all the time. I mean, she was still active, but I think Laura betrayed my mom to certain people, that she was getting slow, she was getting sick, and maybe she influenced them to inoculate some kind of poison or overprescribe, give her prescriptions that she did not need, but that were in her name. If you can understand what I'm talking about, I'm giving this to Columbia County. I may have mentioned the name in the wrong way before, but I think it's to Detective Dixby of Columbia County, Georgia. I want you to see this. I hope you spent the time over a little over 8 minutes. Something happened to my mom, and I believe my sister Laura. My name is Deborah G. Niemeyer. I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I am 50 years old. My date of birth is September 20th, 1972. It's not too hard to find me. You can find my phone number as well. I'm a realtor in New York City. Thanks for watching.